Hi guys, Finn here, welcome back to the channel. Sorry it's been quite some time, should we say guys. Those who know will know the reason why, but those who don't, unfortunately I've been dealing with a loss of someone who's very near and dear to me, and that has taken precedence over doing air gun videos. My humble apologies. Other than yesterday, I haven't really picked up a rifle for a couple of weeks or so now. So I'm slowly but surely getting back on board with it. Humble apologies. Right, what have we got for you today? Well, I've got a bloody good mixed bag for you. Where do we start? Let's start with some kit what I've been testing out for a good while now. Does it get a VIN yay or nay on it? And will this launch into it? Earlier on in the year I was sent this S10 1:10 by 24 fibre optic sight. It's a LPVO scope. I have shot the hell out of that scope with, well, it's been on it, all my rifles. Hang on, let me just pop that to the side and show you. Would I rate this kit? Is it any good for air gunners? Hell yes. I will give this scope on the venometer, I will give this a solid 8, and the only reason I can't give it a top 10, and it is a silly reason, but it is something you need to take on board, because this is designed for putting maybe on a centerfire rifle and for shooting far larger targets than, say, airgun targets or airgun quarry. The reticle is quite thick, and you're going to be disappointed if you think that you can see the eyelashes on a bunny. You'll be able to see it, but as soon as you move the crosshairs across onto it, it's going to cover it. So it's got quite a thick reticle on there. Other than that, this is an awesome bit of kit. I've shot this on springers, on PCPs, on 22LR and 17 HMR, and it's been awesome. I've got to say, as a little Foxen scope on a 17 HMR, this is the bee's knees. It is not the most expensive scope out there, and it does the job. So yeah, let's say solid 8 on that. Well done Vidoptrix for that. Right, what else have I got? For over a year now I've been testing the Wolf brand scopes. What do I rate them on the venometer? I will say a 9. I have shot the hell out of them yet again on all sorts of springers, PCPs, all sorts, even just for fits and giggles, should we say, I even stuck on a Saga 243, and I've had no issues. Scope returned to 0. I've box tested it. So for a budget scope, I'd highly recommend it. I just can't believe it, actually. To be fair, the Wolf scopes are now kind of taken over my Hawk scopes, which I rate very highly indeed. So yeah, rate that. Also, this wasn't sent to me. Another Vidoptrix scope. This is the 4-16 by 44 mil dot scope. Yeah, to show you guys. Misgivings on that, because the mil dot reticle which is shown on the box is most certainly not the same one what is in the scope. However, absolutely brilliant kit. 1-inch tube on it, the same as the LVPO one, or LP video, should I say. As you can see, it's sitting on my 77 now, and I have no problems with that scope whatsoever. It's a very, very fine wire crosshair on there. It is a mil dot, but it's a strange reticle, should we say. Yeah, I highly rate that. I would give that, again, a solid 9. I've got to say, guys, some of these budget friendly, should we say, scopes what coming out of China are pretty damn good, actually. Do they compare to German glass, high-end stuff like Hensoldt and stuff like that? Hell no. But it's at an absolute fraction of the price. So yeah, really good kit. I'm really impressed with that. What else did I get to send over? Oh yeah, the little red dot sight from CV Life. Absolutely awesome kit. I've shot this not only on air pistols, I've shot it on air rifles. Again, hasn't let me down. It's got super adjustment on there. Yes, it is like 2mm dot adjustment, but I've had no issues with it, and it's the actual red dot is very far. You turn it down to like the lowest brightness on the settings. The red dot is very fine, and it's very easy to what's the word I'm looking for? It doesn't cover your target. I mean, I was using that to shoot little tree ball mints and stuff, and it was absolutely fine shooting that at 30 metres. So yeah, if you don't fancy like a traditional optic and fancy a red dot, say for close-in vermin control like rats or feral pigeons, yeah, I'd definitely recommend that and give it a look, and I'd rate that a good solid 9. Again, I've looked at the reliability of the product against its price point and stuff. I've had no issues with it, no loss of zero, and it's held up to the double impulse recoil of Springers absolutely fine. What else do I want to go on to? Here we go. Right, the HW57 Saga. I thought this was over and done with. Right, yesterday I was at my friend John's farm. We're having a damn good plinking session. We had loads of rifles out and zeroing them and getting ready for an epic bunny bashing session. At the moment his farm is absolutely riddled with rabbits, and we are going to trim down the numbers. So one of the guns I took was the 57. Now, if you guys can remember back to early on in the year, I said about the loading port flying up and making that hell of a bang, and I got the lovely blood blister on my thumb. And some people have suggested what that could be. It got sent back to whole cartridge. They were about as useful as, I'm going to say it, they're about as useful and forthcoming as tits on a fish, and they didn't give me an explanation. All they said was a barrel obstruction. Well, I was shooting with my good friend yesterday, John, like I say, plinking. I put about 30 shots through this little rifle. Each time this loading port was down, and guess what, guys, it done it again. There was no barrel obstruction or anything. There was a hell of a crack again, and this loading port had popped up. Thank God I learnt my lesson on the last time, and I didn't have my thumb resting there how I normally would have been shooting, because I was shooting free sitting, should we say, not bench resting. So I had a slightly different grip, and like I say, this loading port came up, and John, who was shooting probably about 3 or 4 yards away to me, said, what the F was that, kind of thing. And we both looked and this loading port was up. So what can I say about this little 57? I'm going to have to get rid of it, that's the honest truth, guys. I've persevered with it. But the problem is, I know this gun's got a problem, and I don't want a... It's a moral dilemma. I don't want to pass it off to someone when I know this gun has got some sort of issue with it. I don't know. I'll keep you posted on what happens to it. It's really sad because my 57 I had at least for probably 10 years, and I shot thousands of rounds through it and it performed beautifully. But this gun, my confidence has gone in it, and I don't know if I've just got a lemon here, because like I say, not everyone has issues with it, but there is definitely some sort of issue with this particular rifle. But it doesn't, I'm not knocking all 57s, just this particular one. But like I say, you can to put it into perspective, guys, there are a lot of FX Impact guys out there who absolutely love them to bits and think they're the be all and end all of one. I had an FX Impact, it was the M3, and it spent more time being repaired than I ever did being shot. So you do get them. Unfortunately, it's a fact of life. I don't know what else to say to it. But yeah, this one, yeah, I think it's time for me to part company with it. Right, just pop that on the floor. Right, and just wrap this video up. Now, I'm a big Faro fanboy. I don't think they're the best rifle out there, but I think they're bloody good and they're hard to beat. The prices of them are creeping up, and we're starting to get into TX and 200 sort of territory now. But I think they're good, honest rifles, and they're good workhorses, and I've never really had any issues other than with 57. So I just want to float this one out to you guys. Right, oh, I need a 57 again here. Right, we've got this cutout, we've got this like I don't know, checkering on the stock, and I was just looking at this and thinking, my god, this is slimmed down to the first one I had, whether it's a cheapening out process. And then I was looking at this 77. Now this is a 2015 gun. You can see it's got no pistol grip cap on here, no white space. It's got the slimmed down like fore end, and you can see like on the checkering here as well, it's got the Varro little motif, for want of a better word, on there. And I was just looking how like the guns are changed. And what brought this on is today, guys, I went into Two Smoking Barrels and they had a 90s vintage HW57k. And look at this, fellas. This is when airgun manufacturers tended to take a lot more care and pride, it seemed, in the manufacture of this rifle. Considering this is nearly, what is it, 30-year-old rifle. Look at the woodwork on this, fellas. I picked this up from a very, very good price today, and as soon as I saw it, I knew I was going to buy it. There was no hesitation on my part. Literally, all I'm sort of going with this is, why the cost cutting measures? Why when you get a classic design so right, why change things? I mean, this is where I'm going with this, guys. The Varrows are getting very anemic look and an anorexic look, and if you look at the two stock differences, I mean, back in the day they had this lovely almost faux walnut stain on it, and that is, this rifle is just, it exudes quality, and the prices of these rifles, this is where I'm going, the prices of these rifles isn't going down, but their aesthetics kinda is, if that makes sense, and manufacturing costs are definitely coming into play, and they're cheaper now. So come on, Varro, if you want to keep me as your #1 fan kind of thing, come on, go back to this kind of 57. Not a chunk of ABS like plastic on there, or a slimmed out anemic looking rifle. This rifle I have no doubt it's been well looked after for a 30-year-old rifle. I can see two tiny little scratches on the stock, and they're slight dents, so I know it's been used, which pleases me, because if a rifle is in absolutely pristine condition, it's either been a cabinet queen or something's been wrong with it and it got put away, not used. So this tells me this is a good rifle. It's running at 11.8 foot-pounds with JTS dead centres, so I'm quite happy with that. I will be getting this on the range. I will be doing some bunny bashing with this, but sort of just a quick video really, and get some feedback from you guys. What do you think? What is happening in airgun manufacturing now? Do you think they're cheapening out? Do you think, like, especially for the British airgunners out there, the stuff made in the 80s and 90s was a hell of a lot better quality than what we're getting palmed off now? I know as you get older you look back with like rose tinted spectacles as such, but this little 97 here has kind of proven my point. I do have a modern one which I will put up against this, and we'll see how they fare together. They're both 2.2, and we'll do like almost a review on both the rifles side by side and see what you guys think. And also I have a new rifle to be picked up in the very near future from a friend and a subby on the channel, Steve. I will be getting the BSA Superstar, which is probably a competitor to this rifle when it was manufactured, and we'll see how the Brit and Germans stack up against each other, and you can see the real quality of the rifles, how they were back then. Yes, I know you can't reinvent the wheel and all the good stuff, and PCPs are now the be-all and end-all of it, but I think manufacturers are missing out on one of the most important things of ownership of these high-end guns, and it's aesthetics. It's heartbreaking to think you're spending, like, I don't know, £2 grand, £3 grand on a PCP, what looks like a bag of Meccano pipes and buddy bottles, etc, etc, and has got the appeal of a dead slug. That's just my honest opinion. Right, with that guys, I'm going to sign off, and stand by for the bunny bashing videos. Also, you will see me some video out with this little DNT Hydra 3-in-1 thermal scope. I've got that footage to come. And once again, as always guys, thanks for your continued support, and it's much appreciated, and I will catch you next time. Cheers guys.